anaonyesha wivu ndiye mwenye mapenzi ya kweli kwa mwenzi. Lakini pia uvumilivu na vitendo vya kara vilimuumiza. Mwenzio mimi ni mtulivu na kuiba mali ya mtu sijafunza. Una dhambi lawama ulonipa mimi leo na nyuma. Fikira zako ziko vibaya kudhani ya kwamba ule demu nilimpenda. Ni kweli nilimpenda.
My name is Neville and Zaona. As of today, I'm taking over matters music-wise. Na umesikia hapo nimeweka disha mangoma mbili mzuri sana. And I am your vibes ambassador Neville. Na ukiniona niko hapa, that means niko na full vibe. Yani niko locked and loaded. Niko shwari kabisa. Yani everything is all nice, okay. And talking about okay. Leo asema ya kesha ni buongo. Leo nimepatana na wewe.
Twende DJ.
Nilikuwa take over kazi yako kidogo.
DJ una nani
moja mbili hapa.
Mambo yako. Zenu.
I want to welcome on the show Siku Zombo, the queen herself, Aziza. Karibu Diaspora Connect.
Ndo tumeland niliambiwa nisikuje na shenga hapa. So guys, welcome. Yeah, nilikuwa nianze na demu wenu. Umetoka kule kwa mke wako lakini Siku Zombo tuko ndaka, tuko ndi.
Hapa ni vitu like salam, you know, when you're greeting the people of Ethiopia. Hola, ukiingia pale Spain kidogo.
Bonjour.
You're catching my drift now. I love it. Make sure you connect with us. Hashtag ni ile Diaspora Connect at Citizen TV Kenya. And as you can see, leo yani vibe iko in full effect. So we have a jam-packed show for you, the most important person on the show. Kama ni connection tuko nayo to the fullest. And also talking about good things happening around us, we have our amazing partners at CIC who will be letting us know how we can secure our future. Because wanasemanga one of the keys to life inakuwa education.
That is so true.
So
definitely.
CIC, our amazing partners, will be letting us know about the insurance plan that caters for all our academia needs. So you are in the right place. But talking about good things, this is what we have coming up on Diaspora Connect. On Diaspora Connect tonight, we have Kelvin Koech, a healthcare manager with NHS training from Dedan Kimathi with over 7 years experience. He currently is practicing in the UK where he has worked with roles in the NHS from pre-qualified nurse to registered nurse and now into management. We also have Anne Kanyanja, a student doing BTech in health and social care and works part-time as a sit-in caregiver. Not forgetting the born and raised in Kisumu, Sheila Olang, who has worked in New York from as early as 17 years old and currently works as an export specialist on Omena in the US in the field of management and consultancy. We also have our very own TV and radio powerhouse presenter QT on her escapades in UK, sharing her personal experience and view of the Queensland. Last but definitely not least is the multifaceted entertainment guru and DJ, not forgetting MC Aziza Hashim of the ones and twos, bringing not only good music but also great vibes. Diaspora Connect every Saturday ikifika 10 p.m. till late. Unajua manze, it's all about connecting. The number one show, yani kikuja connecting things in the region. We are right here with you. As I told you, I am your home plug Neville. Na leo ni leo asema ya kesho ni buongo. Umeona Aziza sasa ametake her rightful place pale behind the decks and she'll be representing to the fullest. So make sure manze connect with us. And also, you know us how we do on the show. Lots to come through. And talking about lots to come through, I have an amazing guest on the hangout. Anaitwa Sheila. Hey Sheila, how are you?
Hi.
You're good?
I'm good.
You're looking spectacular. I can't wait to come there and join you so that, you know, we can talk about so many good things, you know?
Yeah, thank you.
Nice, nice. As you've seen, Sheila will be talking to her about some nice things, especially when it comes to, you know, mambo za export. Watu wa Omena kama muko will be talking about that. Also when it comes to everything education. Tulisema one of the keys of life or to success in education. Plus our amazing partners at CIC will be letting us know how that academia plan can work best for our future generations ambao ni watoi wetu, si ndio? Those are good things. And talking about good things, nataka hii dance floor yetu ya DC kwanza tuichafue mbaya sana. And due to that, I want to welcome an amazing dance crew. Watu wangu wazuri wanaitwa A to Z, courtesy of Aziza. Aziza, ebu kwanza nipatie a breakdown of who I'm about to introduce right now.
Okay, so this is basically me and my gang. Of course, mumezoea kutuona kwenye 10 over 10. And we decided to bring the energy, the vibe kidogo to Diaspora Connect. And you'll be seeing them. So today, Neville, tuna dance. Na tunaanza na piano. But can you feel it? You say yeah, boy.
Hey, I love the energy. So A to Z, ebu kamini through. Atakamu ready dance floor yetu in the right kind of way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Niaje, mko fresh kabisa. Baze karibuni. Ini dance floor yetu nataka niwapatie some time so that you guys can do your thing. So, Aziza, Lego.
Bagoli malanyo bengahleka. Nanike enofike ngabelu wami. Ebengazi kakhulu ungakhali kakhulu ngoba bayingusana abakwazi ukukhombisa ithando masaphila emhlabeni. Ngoba ngiyalazi mina ngizofakaza ngabantu phezu kwekhanda lami ngezinto ezenzile phansi phambi kwenu. Bathi zingaki enzenzile phambi kwami uyedwa omunye ozobheka ukuthi ngampela ngimkhahlele ngampela
Show me one to Aramo, Asimoteng, one to Aramo, Asimoteng, one to Aramo, Asimot, one to Aramo, Kimoteng, Baritomi Kimoteng, Asam, Hengesimina, one to Aramo, Asimoteng, one to Aramo, Asimoteng, one to Aramo, Asimot, one to Aramo, Kimoteng, Kimoteng, Asam, Vegatin, never see. Kimote, Asa vega jene mati.
Ella visita le bombamba, untinda, unspina bine moyeni kala motamba, uiklina, uikisa le oneni mama, kantu pambaganda, kantu pambaganda, I'm ite kala bombamba, untinda, unspina bine moyeni kala motamba, uiklina, uikisa le oneni mama, kantu pambaganda.
Tseo di etsang ha una tšhelete empa ntho tseo di etsang ke tsa batho ba na leng tšhelete. Ha una tšhelete ha o gole sharp mfanaka, ha o gole sharp na sinokonogo ha siyo mono mo tsitsa.
Felum de birimaru, ay birimaru, are birimaru, ay agarubali, Ushuka felum te birimaru. Ay birimaru. Are birimaru. Agarobal. Ushuka felum te birimaru. Ay birimaru. Are birimaru. Ay agarobal. Ushuka felum te birimaru. Ay birimaru. Are birimaru. Agarobal.
And just like that, if you need your dance floor to be set on fire, with the A to Z, with the Aziza pale, maneno yani matamu kama hayo, and I love it. Something different anytime you step into the DC world, anytime you step into Diaspora Connect, we always connecting with the culture. Naona Aziza hapo manze vile amewakilisha to the fullest, giving us sounds from beyond yani South Africa kind of thing. Amesema ni amapiano kind of spirit, ni lifestyle yenyewe, and I love the fact that Aziza Koapa will be talking to her some more about so many other things, including akitupatia ka vibe vile inafaa. Yes, sir. Please continue getting interactive with us because you know you are the most important person on the show. And anytime you come through right here on the DC, unajua manze, we are always connecting. So make sure you use that hashtag and make sure you talk to us because we have amazing stories and amazing guests that we need to get to. Sindio? And you always know on DC, we always have a first of many things. Tulienda Philippines for the first time ever on the show. Tukona vile how things are done there, including even going as far as Syria and debunking all the myths that you might have about such places, and you seeing Kenyan stories thriving from lands like that. And today too, tunachukua flight that tunaenda all the way paka Sudan, and we speak to an amazing Kenyan. Mambo vipi Nigel?
Mambo poa.
Hey, unafilaje lakini? How are you?
I'm good. Labda nyinyi huko nyumbani.
Nyumbani tuko sawa kabisa. In case you don't know things about Sudan, is the fact that the Nile runs there. I don't know if you've gone and seen the Nile where it passes as you've been in Sudan.
The Nile is in the east of Sudan. I'm in Darfur.
So it's quite of a trip before going all the way that side. Yeah, but thank you very much for joining us. I like to ask guys, kama ungekuwa hapa na sisi leo hapa Diaspora Connect, what would have you been doing on a typical Saturday? Ungekuwa mtaani, or would you have been out and about in the streets of Darfur?
Well, Darfur, unfortunately, is a war zone, so nothing much goes on in the evenings. Kwa sababu Sudan imekuwa na vita kwa muda sasa, since 2023.
Kweli, but I'm sure even akudanga even some few gatherings. So what do you do for fun, especially when it comes to unwinding? Ama inakuga tu indoors?
Saturday asubuhi tunacheza mpira. We have a group of professionals who are humanitarians here. Tunacheza mpira, kisha baadaye tunafanya barbecue, and then we call it a day before darkness comes.
That sounds good, especially unajua soccer, food, friends, sounds like such a good combination. Okay, let's take it back a bit. Talk to me about your journey, especially you leaving your motherland hapa mtaani, leaving Kenya, going all the way to Sudan, because I'm sure there are Kenyans who are asking themselves, hey, Nigel ameenda kuconquer a different land. Why did he go there? What's his story? So kindly let us know, especially as you've said, with all the risk.
Yeah, I set out to be a lawyer. I'm a trained lawyer, but my heart has always been in human rights. So in the process of my working in a law firm, I used to work in a law firm in Nairobi. I got into security and risk management, and I realized I can still protect people's rights and keep people safe through this kind of work. So that is where my journey started. I started by working with risk management companies, private risk management companies, and I moved to open up a consultancy and started working with human rights organizations. And I have now moved fully to supporting humanitarian work. So Niko Sudan to make a change to help the people of Sudan who are undergoing a very difficult period with the war, to make sure that they can access medication, they can find food with the help of the donors who support this work. and that is why I'm here. So my work here is to ensure that these projects and these programs are secure, and those who are actually implementing the various aspects of the program are safe and secure as they move around in the field, which is, of course, facing a lot of armed conflict.
Oh, totally. And we definitely want to salute you right here on Diaspora Connect, because such stories, and even you yourself saying, you know, being the humanitarian that you are, going out there and helping guys and making yourself, you know, on ground especially. You know, it's good to make a difference when you're away from home, but when you take up the initiative to actually go to the country and make the difference there, it's even a much bigger deal. So thank you very much for taking that upon yourself. Also, just let me know, as someone who has never done humanitarian work, do you go through the same processes to get, you know, your visa, getting your papers, so that you make sure everything is well accredited before making the journey?
Yeah, definitely. So currently, the airspace in Sudan is partially closed. The Darfur part of Sudan does not have a functional airport. So we come to Darfur through Chad, which means I have to process my Chad visa. And then when I arrive in Chad, I have to get authorization to travel to the east of Chad and then cross into Darfur. And even as you cross into Darfur, you have to seek a and find a permit to allow you to get into Darfur. So it is still a process. There's still some level of administration in Darfur. So yes.
And speaking just as someone who experiences fear from time to time, I would have thought about the risk factor, or let me say, when you arrive in Sudan or when you arrive in Darfur, weren't you a bit scared kidogo? Kwa sababu umetoka nyumbani hapa, kila kitu iko a bit better, you know, and you've gone all the way to a different country. Unajua, ndege, roads, accommodation. Talk to me about your first time experiences. Na pia, I'm sure you've been in a horrible situation. Maybe you can also tell us about it and how you got over such situations or such circumstances.
Yeah, so fortunately for me, with my background in security and risk management, I have been to very many conflict zones in the different parts of the world. But yeah, the experience is always new each time. When I arrived in Darfur, shortly after the war had moved towards Nyala, the entry point, which is West Darfur, was almost a ghost town. And in my head, I was thinking, so who is living here and how are we going to operate? But I had to come here and carry out a risk assessment and work with the program people to plan how we are going to deliver on our mandate. Accommodation has been, what I can say, decent, because in these circumstances, in some places, accommodation is rarely accessible. But here we still have quarters where we can call our guest houses or our camps with running water, and we sometimes cook for ourselves. Sometimes we have members of community who we have employed who come and cook for us. But of course, on an everyday basis, there's a lot of gunfire in West Darfur, sometimes very heavy machine gun fire, anti-aircraft fire. And so some colleagues come here and they find it very traumatizing. And I have to keep assuring them that nothing is happening, because when the firing starts, you can tell whether it is firing that is only going outward or there is a return fire. So when there's a return fire, then that is a cause for alarm. But kukiwa tuna fire ambayo it's outbound, then I know they're either testing their guns or they are celebrating something, or,
All right. I understand that for sure. You know, risk, when it comes to risk, you have to make sure kila mtu ako sawa. And I love the fact you say you make sure kila mtu yani ako sawa. You've explained to your colleagues, especially when it comes to the returning of fire. So I like that explanation, but you got cut off a bit, Nigel, there as you were saying that. Nigel, I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, fine. We'll try and get Nigel back. Nigel, unmute so that we can hear you.
Yes, I was explaining that when the gunfires go off, there's a way you can tell whether it is something that is can cause alarm, or it is just the soldiers, you know, testing their weapons or celebrating. So here in Darfur and Sudan at large, when they're celebrating, they fire guns into the air. Though sometimes they can use very heavy weapons, which causes some worry for some of the colleagues here.
So when it comes also to some of the lessons that you have learned, especially the time you have been there, what are some of the lessons that you've learned and some of the things that you feel as if, especially when it comes to risk management, when it comes to laws, some of the things that you'd love to see introduced, not only in Darfur, but also back home? Nigel, I don't know if you can hear me.
Sorry, I didn't get you clearly.
Oh, yes, I was asking about some of the lessons.
Yes, I can hear you. Please come again.
Yes, I was asking you about some of the lessons that you've learned while you're there, especially with meeting Kenyans who are away from home to coming back home, experiencing both worlds. What are some of the lessons that you've learned? And also, what are some of the things that you'd like to see being introduced, especially to communities of diaspora as you've been there and interacted with them? Nigel, can you still hear me, or it's a bit off?
Yeah, okay. One of the things I've realized in my line of...
Okay. Okay, a bit of a connection issue, but we'll try get Nigel back so we can get, you know, some of the things that he's learned there, some of the lessons, so we can also get tips and tricks about that. But continue interacting with us right here on Diaspora Connect. Use that hashtag Diaspora Connect at Citizen TV Kenya. Alafu pia tuko na our Instagram page, Diaspora Connect KE. Make sure you slide into our DMs and tell us about yourself. Kama uko majuu, where are you watching us from, to and also usiagope kusalimia watu nyumbani, because anytime you are on Diaspora Connect, ni nusu ya kuonana, and that's how we flow things right here. Plus, I'll be showing you some postcards about, you know, majuu vile maneno iko. And since niko na pia superstar pia up in the building, Aziza ako up in the place. Sijui kama mambo ya Darfur. I don't know if you have visited Sudan, Darfur. Najua, Aziza, you are well traveled, mbaya.
I definitely have not been to Sudan. It's definitely on my bucket list. I think Sudan and Rwanda are definitely on my bucket list.
Kwanza wacha nikwambie, Southern Sudan wanakuwa na tradition flani kwa wedding ambayo ina happened over a couple of days. That is something to experience for sure. Sisemi wewe uende uoleke Sudan, lakini unaweza experience, ndio?
Kabisa, kabisa.
What are guys saying on social media?
On the socials, I have some people on my phone, but we also have a couple of interactions on our Twitter. That is our X, but you know, yeah, hashtag ni Diaspora Connect. A big shout out to Fibian Chepkutu. And hello, watching the show all the way from Mombasa, Kenya. Our sister DJ Aziza, lit as usual. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, baby girl. Known as Zaik as well. And originally, River Nile was called River Supiri. The lady guest is an inspiration. Thank you so much. The gentleman in Darfur, I was in the humanitarian fields and know how challenging it is. Sukurani Azul. And good to see you guys. Kabisa, big up Neville, big up the gang. I also see we have a couple of people tuned in via X, and I can see them tagging me. Be sure to interact with us. Tag us at Diaspora Connect KE. Tag us at Citizen TV Kenya. You can tag at that Neville. and Aziza_H. John Musanga, Babaki Newton, a big shout out to you. I also see Salim is in the building. Casemiro, I see you as well. The Truth, a big shout out to you. Mr. Basweti, keep the interaction going. Let's have a conversation and just, have a good time together. Neville, you unasemaje? Naona kuna baby girl na kafiti sana. I've never seen, is it yellow or mustard? Looking that gorgeous. I mean, look at that smile, baby girl.
No man, niko so lucky, And as I tell you right here on DC, anytime I have a guest in studio, it's always a good time, and I'm always good to have a good time with them. So one time, help me welcome Sheila onto the show. Habari yako, how are you doing?
Nzuri sana.
Uko salama lakini?
Niko poa sana.
You look like a fun person, and you've had me asking my guy in Darfur, ni nini angekuwa anafanya sahi? Kama ungekuwa hapa DC, ungekuwa wapi unatesa sahi?
Ningekuwa natesa mbaya sana.
Wapi uko? Kwa kitanda umelala
kwa kitanda,
ama nje?
Nikifanya skincare routine.
Inakubalika.
Nikifanya 7 steps.
7 steps kabisa manze. I love it. Thank you very much for joining us. Diaspora Connect, hapa tunapenda stories about Kenyans, especially kama wameenda majuu, wame-experience, alafu wamekuja home, watupatie pia experience, alafu pia the fact that there's many things we can experience, especially when it comes to traveling. Kuna education, unaweza kuwa tourist, ama ukitaka pia unaweza go and excel in many different fields, like guys like BN, you go out there, uchachishe mbaya diaspora,
Yes.
So I want you to tell guys about your amazing story, because when it comes to education, big universities, umetik list, when it comes to business, entrepreneurship, umetik, plus watu wa Kisumu watafurahia sana, wakisikia, watu wa Sori, wakisikia hii maneno, watafurahi sana. Migori County watafurahi sana.
Asante.
So Sheila, please talk to me.
Thank you. Kwanza, thank you so much for having me.
Of course,
it's a pleasure.
Yes. Wait, before you go, tulilizwa ni mustard ama ni yellow? Tuambie pia hiyo.
Boss, hii ni mustard, si yellow. Heshima idumu.
Please,
ni mustard, si yellow.
Inaitwa mustard.
Inaitwa mustard.
I love it.
No, but thanks. Mimi nimezaliwa, born and bred in Kisumu. Vile nilikuwa Kisumu, nilikuwa tunafanya story mingi sana za child rights. So we did a lot of child rights at the time. We're working on the new constitution. Nice. So vile nikamaliza, nilikuwa picked up from there. Nilikuwa nafanya kazi na UN, like child rights organizations na nini. So my first trip actually, vile nitoka Kenya, nilienda New York. Imagine zero from Kisumu straight to New York.
The first time ni United Kisumu. Hey, first time.
Kulikuwa na baridi. I remember it was November, December hapo. Yeah, it was for ilikuwa inaitwa CSW, saini UN Women, your conference.
Okay.
And it was such an honor because nilipewa opportunity to speak in the UN General Assembly in front of all the heads of state. Wow. So it was a very big deal about child rights. Nilikuwa very passionate about child rights at the time and women's rights. So that was my first kind of way out.
So as you were there during that, because first time travel is always a thing. Before, alafu unaanza kuzoea.
But the first time ilikuwa challenging. Nakumbuka so well because ilikuwa KLM. Sasa ndo naweza join story mingi. Before mimi nilikuwa naambiwa niingie wapi, nikae chini. I know the best thing is ilikuwa KLM na walikuwa overbooked. So nikaeka business class. Sasa ubaya nikadhani hiyo ndio inakuwa kawaida. Wacha siku hizi ndio najua kumbe hiyo ni pesa mingi.
Ulionyeshwa standard iko huko economy kidogo.
Standard ya juu. Ikawa KLM.
I love it.
So that was my first time nikaenda. So ilikuwa UN and nilikuwa nimemaliza 4th form. So ni zile za nilikuwa najua, nilikuwa tunangoja results zinakuja like the following year, Feb. So nikasema, siko sure history za result. Nikamwambia madhena afadhe, acha niende nianzishe, acha nianze something on the other side. So that's how I ended up going to school to do my undergrad. So I had to do my SATs, which is an equivalent of like kufanya KCSE tena, but the American one.
Oh, so which is an essential kind of test.
You have to do it. Ukitaka kufanya SATs. It's very standard. And actually it was much easier because curriculum yetu ya Kenya, ukimaliza 4th form, is very, very vigorous. Ukienda kwa the American one, I found it to be kama kufanya exams at form 2 niseme.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't too bad. It was like 10th grade level stuff. So hiyo ndio nikafanya. So then I ended up doing my bachelor's in New York. So nimesoma Vassar College.
Hiyo ni university kwani ulienda huko New York?
Huko juu.
And let me ask you this.
Yes.
When you're searching for this education and you pick this specific university, is it because of a wide range of reasons?
Yes.
Or is it because of something in particular? Because I'm sure it's also a thing as Kenyans are out there going to study. They're like, I would like to pick this university, but maybe I need to pick this one because of this. Maybe you can give us a bit of breakdown of why you picked that particular uni.
Mine was actually gradual. So first nilianza na community college. So community college is like getting your diploma first. Because A, I wasn't sure what I wanted to study, and B, it's expensive. So nilikuwa nangoja kwanza I see if I can target to get scholarships. Because there's a friend of mine who told me, ukikuja huku, tafadhali usilipe school fees. Somebody will pay for it. It's just that you need to find, ni kama matchmaking, find somebody to pay for it. So mi nikaanza, and it's nice we're having these conversations. By the time nilikuwa huko, these conversations were not there. Ulikuwa nadhani ukifika huko lazima ukuwe nurse. Kila mtu alikuwa anafanya nursing. Sasa mimi nashangaa, na vile mimi naogopa hizo stories za hosi nitaanzia wapi. Then I realized no, you don't really have to do that. So nilianza na community college. So in the community college we had something called a transfer program. So unaenda now to get your bachelor's. So it's from this transfer program ndio nikakuwa guided on how to apply, nini vitu kama hizo. So actually my first entry point ilikuwa community college. So then I applied. I knew shule moja I knew Colombia. So I knew I wanted to go to Colombia.
Unajua at least
so nika apply Colombia. Hiyo nili-apply. So nikajua. Then I came to find, so I was admitted to both Colombia and Vaasa. Columbia University and Vaasa, yes. So why did I end up choosing Vaasa? Ya kwanza was because of money. So Colombia ilinipatia about 65% was paid for full scholarship. Vaasa ilinipatia full free.
Tuende kwa ile ya full.
Nikasema boss, ni nini naanza kuchukuana na loan? Na unajua by the time Kenya nilikuwa nimeitwa Maseno University for IT. Mimi nilianza kufanya hizo vitu za IT. Unajua Kenya sasa unaitwanga tu vitu unashangaa. Sasa mimi nilianza kufanya IT aje. Nikasema first of all let's niende huko. And I actually ended up liking it in the end. I did nikafanya orientation in Colombia. It's a very big school. It's Ivy. It's filled na wale watoto wenye walikuwa mimi ndio nilikuwa number 1. Mimi nimesoma Alliance. Mimi chopi and then it was just too much. Unajua ukitoa mtu pale Kisumu alafu mbele hiyo environment. Kwanza niende kwa hii na nipeleka polepole sasa. So that's why I chose Vaasa. So I love it. In America it's a liberal arts college. So it has a very different style of education.
Talk to me also about meeting people from different cultures, because you've said it's an Ivy League school. So I'm sure it's not only Americans who are there. I'm sure you're meeting many people from many walks of life. Did you meet Kenyans? Did you interact with them? And how was the getting to know people in this new environment? You know, how was that like acclimatizing to this new system of education and of course this new community too?
It was great, first of all, because like I said, Sisi, being in Kisumu a lot of the time, there was a lot of monoculture going on. Yes, it's a bit mixed, but not so much. So vile nikafika huko, there were few Kenyans, of course, but what was also incredible is there was people from all walks of life walikuwa hapo. Some things nilipenda, like I had my own room for the first time. It's the small things, I had my own, like nilipewa tu room yangu, and I'd never had my own room before. So vitu kama hizo zilikuwa zinanibamba, like niko na room yangu, niko na kikadi yangu, niko na vitu zangu. I'm like, what? But it was really good because the way you think your life is like the world, somebody else is sitting somewhere, hata ajui hizo stories zenu, hata atambui, hata yuko sasa anakuangalia anashangaa anasema where is that again? Unaangalia unasema hizo chakula umekuwa, you're so stuck in your ways. You start appreciating that life, people look at it differently. People come from different places. Whatever is the most important thing for you, to somebody else, they could care less about it. So unakuwa na humility kidogo. But what was also there is it was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of study, a lot of long hours. But I also liked the teaching style. One of the biggest differences, the biggest, let's say, hardship nilikuwa nayo in terms of the education system. In Kenya, tulikuwa tunafundishwa una cram, una repeat. Hiyo ndio unakuwa number 1.
Kukram for the exam.
Repeat. Very, very little critical thinking. Ukifika huko, mimi napewa exam, unauliza what's your opinion, namuuliza what do you want my opinion to be? Unataka niseme nini sasa?
It's all about you, your critical
so the first time mimi repeat nikasema si nimesema yote niyo ni repeat. Wakaniambia boss, hapana, what is your opinion? Ukiambiwa the grass is green, you don't just say okay, the teacher said the grass is green. You have to question why is it green? Who decided that it is green? Why can't we make it purple now? You know, hizo ndio vitu wanataka kusikia huko. So it was a very different, and I liked it much more. It was a very different way of a lot more critical thinking, not just repeating nini. And then you could shine in different ways. You could, it's okay for you if you're into art and that's what you like, that's fine, it's encouraged. So you become a bit more well-rounded. Nilikuwa wale watu walikuwa mimi na library peke yake, nilikuwa tu number 1. So the way you even get graded, si ati kwa unafanya exam moja na nivo, hapana, itakuwa na participation, uliongea mara ngapi kwa class, ulienda ukafanya extracurricular activities gani. So unakuwa a bit more well-rounded, which I wasn't used to. So it took me a long time to adjust, ndio nianze kuzoea. But most importantly, you have to, don't just take anything as like granted. You question everything. You have to be a critical thinker all the time. Develop your own theories, test them out, try them out. Na vitu hizo.
So very important things, especially critical thinking, kujifikiria, kusimama on your point, standing on business. I love it.
Yes.
Sheila is up in the place, but and imagine ndo tumeanza conversation yetu about good things about education. Tumeongea Columbia University, but also tutaongea kuhusu mambo ya Omena and how it is changing her life and the life of others, you know. And that's exactly what we do right here on Diaspora Connect, connecting with all the Kenyan stories from all over the world at Apa right here in the 254. And in a few, I'll be connecting you with our very own anaitwa Cutie akiwa UK. Amekuwa UK akijinoisa. And sasa hivi ako ngemi pale anajibamba sana UK, having such a good time. So we'll be catching up with Cutie pale, and she'll be telling us about, hey, Cutie, si utembe pole pole hata tuone relatives wetu bwana. Hey. Well, we'll be catching up with her in a few so that she can give us about all her escapades in the UK. Because amekuwa akitesa huko UK. I even saw a video of her. She captured a video of someone in a store in the UK and he was shoplifting. She captured that on video and she was showing it to us, and we'll be getting to all those escapades by Cutie akiwa kule UK and all those amazing things. And talking about amazing things, you've heard all the amazing things Sheila has talked about when it comes to education. And I still lazima nikwambie tena na tena that, you know, one of the keys to success is making sure education iko up to the time. Yani iko sawa kabisa. And our amazing partners at CIC are making sure our children wako sawa kabisa. You might be in the diaspora right now and you've left your kids here at home. Unashanga, school fees. Unashanga, how best can I put my money? How best can I save my money so that when that time arrives to give my children the right kind of education, I can make sure I give it to them. And CIC, the academia plan, is making sure that all of us, especially ukiwa pale diaspora and you want to save for your children's education, you can do it. Between the ages of 9 to 18, this policy is available for you. So you can plan. Kama ni primo, unaweza isecure. Kama ni junior school, secondary school, tertiary education, all that is catered for courtesy of CIC, especially when it comes to the academia plan. And if you want to sign up today, real easy from anywhere in the world, just go to www.cic.co.ke. Ukiingia pale utapata every nice thing. And also, you can text the word academia right now to 22471. That is academia to 22471. Now you'll be walked through the good processes, because our amazing partners at CIC, wakisema, they mean exactly that. They keep their word. And I've talked a lot about CIC. Listen to the experts.
My name is Peter Washira, training manager, CIC Life Assurance. And I'll focus more on individual life products and mainly on the CIC Academia, which is an endowment policy that helps a parent or a guardian to plan for their child's future education fund. And therefore it must have a child named, a child who is the main beneficiary. And it's a long-term plan that you need, because the child will only stop asking or needing when they get out of the family's budget. In a small way, they can be able to be putting in little by little. For as low as 2,000 monthly, one can be able to start saving. Yes, but I always advise, it gives you where we can start, but align it with the actual need. And one can do it, can make those payments either monthly, every 3 months, every 6 months, or annually, as you may find it working for you. And in event of either early death or in event of being totally incapacitated, this policy would require you not to contribute, because one, you may not have the ability, but it would actually ensure that future contributions are waived. And immediately it would also provide 50% of that sum of fund that we are trying to create, sum assured. yeah, to enable this child still to pursue that education they are doing. And eventually, it would actually ensure there is a fund in place for future. And when I say future, it may also lead even to higher education, and not only higher education, further education, where they want to specialize. Is very unique because, one, it provides you with a life cover and a total permanent disability cover. And after that period of contribution, you don't need to contribute anymore. You start just receiving the maturities, and that makes it stand out. One can be eligible as long as they have a child of their own, or they want to support their niece or a nephew as a guardian, and as long as one is of 18 years and above, and up to a maximum of 60 years, one can be able to really take this financial solution to guarantee a child's future education. And it can be for as short period as 5 years to a maximum period of 14 years saving. In event maybe one loses that particular child, again, this policy gives you options of naming another child, yeah, to replace that child. And again, also it can allow you to terminate that policy and still not lose what you have contributed for this policy.
Our amazing experts right there at CIC telling us everything we need to know, especially when it comes to securing our future. And, you know, we'll also be playing you another clip by our experts, especially when it comes to people like me who don't have kids yet, you know. So we'll be getting a bit of tips and tricks from our amazing partners at CIC. So stay tuned for that, because as I said, hapa ni mambo ya kuplug your future and everybody in your family. And kuhusu everybody in the place, niko na Aziza Hasham mwenyewe. Wagwan. Unajua anytime niko na wewe hapa on the show, I feel energy iko on a different level.
Because normally, Neville, you usually have a lot of energy, bana. It's only that you're usually alone here. Yeah.
Unajua vibes wazidanganyangi, vibes never lie. And let me talk to you about taking those vibes beyond the borders, because we can see very well, especially from, you know, your travels, Instagram, kuvuka boda, kuingia TZ, kuingia UG, kuingia Dubai, kuingia Kigali, kuingia everywhere. Yani maneno yako ni mambo ya vibe. Talk to me about taking that vibe outside of the country.
I think I'm very intentional with taking the vibe outside of the country. It's something that I've always wanted to do. In that, I've always wanted to be more than just every other lady in media that I've looked up to. So, of course, my goal has been to solidify East Africa first, because I can't be loved outside if the people back at home don't love you. I'm so grateful that here at home, the love has been correct, polite. Na pia in Uganda, in Tanzania, because I think in a span of the last 3 weeks, I've done 2 big shows in both Uganda and Tanzania. Yesterday, we did a stadium show, full to the brim, 60,000 people plus in capacity. So that was quite amazing.
And you know, when you're talking about this amazing show, I want to show guys this clip here of you in the stadium, but not you exactly doing your thing, but you are doing something here which is making the cameraman run for his life, especially trying to get that amazing content of ulikuwa unakimbia unaenda wapi sasa.
Nimesikia wananiita Murife.
Bana.
Nimesikia wananiita Murife sasa. Nimeambiwa sasa mimi na Kipchoge.
Hapa.
Aziza, you go on.
So talk to me about what was happening in the clip. You were set to light up the place as usual?
Yeah, so the stadium is very full. And I'm big on getting that personal interaction on any stage that I'm in. So for this one, I was like, the people are a bit far away from me. So I want to be able to greet and say hi to everyone within the shortest time ever. And what best do we do than being just a Kenyan? As Nyashinsky said, I'm Kenyan, so you know I'm a marathon runner. So naambia hiyo stadium tulizunguka, tulikimbia. Energy ilikuwa polite, lakini pia cameraman namhurumia. He will not go to the gym for the rest of the year. But that is enough gymming for a day.
Cardio hapo imeshika mbaya sana, but that's such an amazing amazing kind of feat. And right here, Diaspora Connect, of course, you know, we salute you because doing this in your own country, kudos. But kuingia sekta jengine, kama hapa ni Daniel Mukapa Stadium, and unaona, kuna vitu mingi zina happen, and that itself is a big feat. So congratulations to you, Media Masaya. Imeweza mbaya sana. Let me ask you about this. Is there a festival that, or a show that is in your mind that you're like, ina manifest, ningependa kufanya worldwide?
Most definitely. Wireless Festival and Coachella are definitely on my wish list, biggest wish list. So, of course, that is why the DJing comes through. And then in the next couple of months, you're going to be seeing a couple of different things, all in alignment for the sake of what we're supposed to do, you know, internationally. So, I'm super, super grateful for the support. And thank you, Neville. You're such a darling. Oh my God. I wish wanazoanga kuona zile memes zako za TikTok. Sasa sahi wanaona this madam can actually be a gentleman.
Manze inakuaga hivyo. But also Aziz, I want you, because as you're here na unabamba wase wengi sana, kuna wasu pia wana look up to you. Unajua, na kuna Media Masaya wengi wana come through. Unajua, wanakuwatch wanasema haki ya Mungu, mimi pia ningependa kutesa. Ni secrets gani ungeambia wase? By the way, kama unadai kuingia kwa hii game ama kama unadai kukonka, unajua, beyond the borders, hizi ndo vitu za kutilia maanani. Moja ama mbili, usiwapatie zote.
Kwanza mna look up to me na nyote mmenishinda urefu juu ya wai. Like mini mfupi, mna look up to me. That's on a light note. But I mean, nothing comes easy. I know a lot of people might discourage you from pursuing your path. A lot of people might tell you that this is oversaturated. Kuna watu wengi wanafanya hii kitu. Hata mimi niliambiwa hivyo. But if you love something, regardless of whether it's media or not, and you want to be so good at it, go for it. Don't listen to people who've never been where you want to be. It's not going to be easy, but you've got it. Yeah. So, of course, nimesikia pia kuna dada yetu anakuaga hapa hivi kwenye radio. You call London.
Hey.
London girl. She's been gallivanting. Neville.
Hey, kwenye ends kwenyewe. Cutie, mambo vipi? How are you?
Poa sana Neville na Aziza. Mnanisikia Kiri?
Tunakupata best.
Unajua niko London, kuna kelele, sisi tunajibamba huku ni sherehe, sawa?
Bana.
But big up Aziza big up yourself, ndio nilifanya kazi fiti pale Tanzania, lakini wasikuchukue, sawa? Wajaribu kukuchukua anyway, tutafadhali. Mwisho wewe kimbia Tanzania but anyway, au sio? Nawapenda sana. Lakini UK kumeweza, nimekuja Ngemi, place inaitwa Coventry. Hasa hapa Coventry kuna kitu inaitwa Ngemi. Ngemi inakonga culture ya Wakikuyu, unaelewa? Wakikuyu wanakuja pamoja, wanaweza kubonga about culture yao, wanaweza kudress up, wanakuja wanasikiza performances from Kikuyu people. Yani it's basically all about Kikuyu. Traditional food is here, muratina iko, kila kitu iko hapa. So tuko Coventry, nilikam through at least niweze kuona Ngemi. By the way, sijaenda Ngemi. Ngemi imehappen Kenya all these years, but sijaweza kwenda Ngemi. So when kwa UK nikasema kama Ngemi ina happen, why not? So nikakuja nikadandia Ngemi ya UK na manze kumeshika imeweza manze. Anywhere, yani trust Kenyans to turn up anywhere. Manze kumeshona, yani Wakenya wamekuja. Hadi hakuna place ya kupark, wamekuja, wamedress up, wanajibamba. Trust Kenyans to do anything guys. Lakini imeweza kwa sana. Yani hapa ni mpaka then tuna after party. I think inaisha 12 and then tuna after party mahali tu. Sijajua ni wapi but najua ndakuwa hapo kwa hiyo after party.
Hapo sawa manze. Ilo inakubalika. And talk to us about some of the things ambazo ume-experience, ambazo ungependa ku-experience back home pia. Because niko sure umeona transport different, niko sure ume-experience shopping life different. Alafu we pia ni mtu wa football sana. Nilikuona umeshikilia kitu ya Arsenali pale. Also, talk to us about being in the place football is the thing.
Kiosha nikwambia watu wa Arsenal wanataka kunimaliza. Unajua mimi ni Manchester United representative.
Kabisa.
Damu, Manchester damu. Sasa watu wa Arsenal nilisema lazima niende niwachokoze. Mimi nikaenda kwa dressing room, of course wapi kwingine unaweza. Na nikaenda kwa dressing room pale Emirates Stadium. Of course nikaenda kwa the best player right now. Of course ni Jokero. Nikaenda pale nikafanya ile sign yake. Watu wa Arsenal wameleta shida, wameniambia nimepeleka swara, lakini pia sinisahau. Unaona game yao wameshinda leo. So I'm the good luck charm. Na of course nimeweza pia kwenda pale Tottenham Stadium. Nikaenda pale nikacheki, wale wenye wanajua imerebuildiwa inakaa fiti tena sana. capacity ni kubwa, it's a big stadium. But the biggest thing that is happening also in the UK ni kesho. The biggest derby na go down wadau, yani pale Manchester United versus Man City. So kesho ndakuwa pale Old Trafford. Nitaenda hadi Manchester. Kutoka hapa Coventry it's like an hour and a half. So nitaenda pale niweze kuwatch game. Of course mimi nashabikia timu yangu na najua tutapiga Man City vile inafaa. So nimeweza kwenda kwa hizo stadiums. Na of course bado kuna game zingine noma, kutakuwa na Manchester na Chelsea bado nitaenda kuona. And then pia kutakuwa na game nyingine ya Arsenal na Man City. Hiyo itakuwa about hapo 21st. Hii next weekend inakama. So hizo ni game zenye na plan kwenda kuona. At least niende pale Chelsea pia kwa stadium yao ni cheki. Niende pale Man City na plan pia kwenda Anfield. Like mimi napenda football. Like football is my life. Nimekuja hapa tu kucheki game. Kama kuna kitu imenileta tu hapa ni game. So I came here for the fun, for the thrill. Yani kama unapenda futa unaweza elewa kile nasema. Because kama tunaiwatch kwa TV na tunafeel tuko thrilled. Hata imagine kukua kwa stadiums pale karibu na players. Hata kama sitawaguza, lakini unajua uko pale is so different, the experience is so different. So I can't wait for those 3 games. Alafu pia hapa kitu nimerealize na incha already. But then nimekuja hapa, nikiingia hapa ngemini, hakuna, so hii place hakuna parking. Watu wanafaa kutafuta parking na huko mbali. But kuna watu wamejifanya kichwa ngumu, wamekuja wamepark. Guess what? Ticket, washapata kitu inaitwa ticket. Na hapa majuu ukipatiwa ticket, apparently, unaendelea ukididaktiwa points zako. So eventually you might end up losing your license. Yani the transport system here is, huku watu ni wa strict. Nakwambia ufai kupark sijui kwa ni yellow line, aufai ku-overtake, aufai ku-overlap. Hapa kama tungekuwa Kenya, tungekuwa tunaishi huku sisi wote hatungekuwa na license. But I think when you're here, you get to learn the rules. And you go by the rules. But pia nimekuwa nikitumia, at least you get to experience train. The train system is so amazing. I hope tutafika hapo kama Kenyans because vitu ni automatic. Unaingia tu kwa train, unatap kadi yako, unaenda mali unaenda. Hizi trains zinaenda everywhere. So it's so amazing in that you just get in with your card. You just swipe your card, you get onto the train, and then kuna hizo vitu zimeandikwa like kwa each station unashuka, unaenda unaangalia uliko unaenda wapi. So kama wewe ni mgeni kama mimi na unaenda hizo stadiums, lucky thing is that you cannot get lost. Kuna map na bado uko kwa train ndani wamekuandikia. So unaweza ku-experience on your own. Si lazima ukue na mtu akupeleke hizo places zote. All you need to know is where you're going and where you came from. Ukishajua hizo vitu mbili, uko sawa kabisa. Na pia basi ni kuchap tu. Manze nilipanda basi nikajipata niko huko juu. Yani imekuwa tu amazing yani. Wadao, yenye maisha London is real. Acha nikwambie hii hewa ya huku, tukidrive through tu huko, kuna best yako hapo, unadrive through London, unacheki vile hii place iko, hewa safi, everything is so good guys. Like experience has been amazing. This is my second time in London, but I guess the second time nililearn. Because sasa hivi nimeweza kufanya so many activities. Like sasa hivi nimeweza kujipanga na games, niliona kuna ngemi, nikaweza kujipanga na ngemi. Ukifikanga hapa what I like about Kenyans in London, ama Kenyans in diaspora, is that they are always so welcoming. Yeah. Like kila mtu anataka kukuhost. Nilipost hivi, kila mtu anataka kunihost maze. It's so amazing guys. Like ukiweza pata hiyo experience ya kukuja kama ni London or wherever it is you want to travel, trust Kenyans to host you and to be the best host ever.
Kabisa my darling. Na nimeona kuna swali hapa.
Naongea mingi.
Haina noma baby girl. Lakini kuna mtu ameuliza hapa on our X handle using the hashtag Diaspora Connect. Anauliza cutie, si tunataka kujua unarudi lini, tukae kwa airport tukungoje, tuko na madancers tumetayarisha, ni kukupokea na Kingemi tu.
Wacha nikwambie kitu moja Aziza, unajua citizenship number 1 kila mahali. Nikijaribu kusema hapa nitashuka nini na wapi? Manze napata watu wameningoja kwa airport but narudi end month. Wacha niseme tu hivi. Narudi end month at least ndakuwa nimeka 3 weeks. Hiyo 3 weeks nishaipangia. Yaani kila siku niko activity nafanya. Every single day. Hakuna ile siku nakaa kwa nyumba nimelala. Hakuna kulala ni binguni. So niko na activities ziko lined up. Na mimi nimejipanga hizi activities zote juu. Manze unaweza kuja ujipate hapa upate time imeenda. Unanielewa? Unaweza kuja upate hapa ulikuwa unakuja 2 weeks ama 1 week ishaisha. So already 1 week nisha visit already like 2 stadiums. nimekuja ngemi. So kesho naenda tena study, next week nishajipanga study. Yani napanga tu niende tu nizunguke. Maze watu wa Arsenal poleni sana lakini lazima ningewachokoza. Unajua nawapenda. Kama mimi ni mimi wasema na wewe. Umeona trophy cabinet ya Arsenal vile inakaa?
Hakuna.
Hapana. Siwezi ongea na timu yenye tulifunga QT. Tunaongelea the now.
Mlitufunga lakini the truth of the matter is trophy cabinet ya Arsenal ni oya. Sasa huko mko na nini mtu wangu? Wewe Arsenal kuja hapa kwanza. Kuja hapa. Wewe Arsenal, wewe ni mtu wa Arsenal kaka wewe Arsenal. Uko live kwenye Citizen TV, wewe ni mtu wa Arsenal?
Kabisa.
Unaitwa nani?
Mike.
Unaitwa Mike. Mbona una support hiyo timu inaitwa Arsenal?
Loyalty.
Kwa nini na inakuangusha saa hizi?
Unajua ni aje nikapigia hapo. Kileta ngori, akileta makochini, usimwacha.
Unakati naye.
Unataka nikuache?
Buda sasa ni hizo ni gani? Joacha.
Hii team see about always compare team na any other team kwa sababu waso na shift.
Yes.
But ukicheki mi kama it mimi ni personality Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, so cheki like tunajuaga one time. Mimi najua.
Ipo siku.
Last season we
Champions League.
Last season we come this close kuachilia.
Yes.
Wallahi tena. But unachiki for like what after Arsenal? What after Arsenal? Meshako kidai kwa you know
this is a Calvini Arsenal ni kama Cal.
Ni kama Cal. Ni kama kuna sports after Arsenal.
Hakuna
like the clubs. Hata kama tuko sawa. No any other way. Na tunajua trophy cabinet iko dusty. You know that.
Nilicheki jana nilikuwa huko iko dusty mbaya. Buda hakuna ene. Niliwapanguzia hivi mimi wa Manchester niliwapanguzia hivi. Trophy zetu ni 20 sawa.
Umesikia leo?
Jana leo nimecheki nimepiga mtu Nottingham. Bimendi. Madueke lakini
QT.
Anyway, lakini uko hapa jua nini bro? Cheki ya mwisho uko hapa jua nini?
Mimi kama siwezi mimi 100%. Mimi toka London.
Wapi? Wapi London?
Sababu London mazee.
Yes.
So make up support hasa wetu. Tusikie ngoma za Kisapere. Tuzokombe hapa. Scratch that.
Okay.
Yeah, alafu kama kawaida. Look game ya Arsenal. Pesa mingi. Support yote.
Yo, what do you miss most about home, Kenya?
About home. Chakula. Chakula. Tunapenda. Mazee. Mtu wangu mazee.
Wangote uko live kwenye Citizen TV Wangote.
Real.
Niko Citizen TV bora. Leo hapa uko Citizen TV. Yes.
Hapo sawa manze. Nataka nikupatie hiyo task before tukuache uende. Tutafutie Wakenya wengine wawili watatu wakuje wasalimie watu wao wa home before tumalizane na wewe, alafu wewe pia ukuje upige salamu. Sawa? Kwa hivyo acha let me let you go kidogo, but big up msee kama Mike hapo amesema msee kutoka London amekuja ngemia, you know, I enjoy, but pale ameanguka tu ni yeye ni fan wa Arsenal, but at least kona Aziza hapa, so wako tu sawa. And still on Diaspora Connect bado tuko na mapocho yanayokuja hadi pole. QT still coming back with all our loved ones from the UK. Alafu Aziza still on the ones and twos, still taking full course with it. Also, kuna kwagana many different ways of connecting. So make sure you connect with us, especially on our Instagram page at Diaspora Connect KE. Na pia usisahau hashtag ni ile Diaspora Connect. Continue talking to us, telling us all those good things. Na pia kama uko na questions ama unajua mtu angependa kuwa part of the show, it's as easy as sliding into our DMs and talking to a few people about us, because anytime you watch us, instantly unakuwa ambassador wetu. Yes, talking about ambassador, you know, Sheila was out there in New York, umesikia Columbia University and whatnot, meeting many people from many walks of life, but still, unajua, keeping that uniqueness of Kenya bado hapa mtaani. Si unajua, let me ask you about this, Sheila. What were some of the things that you missed the most, especially during your first year, as you were in school for the first years? Ni nini huko unasema, ai, kwa hii hostel yangu, I wish ningekuwa na smoky pasua, ama ningekuwa na chapati. Talk to me about some of the things that you are missing, especially from back home.
Chakula. Kwanza nimesikia anasema chakula mpaka nikarelate. Samaki. Samaki. Samaki, I was suffering.
You are suffering.
I was dying.
Kwanza pale ni sijui Colombia utapata samaki wapi?
Niliteseka sana. Na omena, of course. That one. And just as we are more social huko. You know, you feel at home. Huko, all of a sudden, you know, you grow up in Kenya your whole life, you don't even realize you're black. Ukifika huko unaambia black people, wakisema black people unasahau wewe ni mmoja wao. Umezanga watu wakiambia wasichana hivi unaamka. Yeah, so there's a bit some weird stuff that was going on. But no, I think just as we tuko na more social life. Like we have more life. Home kuna life. Unafanya kazi like 24/7 nini. So kuna life kibao huko.
And when you're talking about life kibao sana, I want us also, we've touched a bit about education, but I also know ukiwa huko majuu lazima pia you make your money. Lazima you find a way to supplement yourself, keeping yourself, unajua all your other extra needs. Talk to us about your process here. Una realize lazima ni make some money to do ABCD, and tell us about how you got your first jobs. What are some of the jobs that you've done before we get to the export business?
Yes. No, so while you're in school, it was very easy. Kuna like work study jobs zile unaweza fanya on campus. So like on campus nilifanya kazi kwa library na vitu kama hizo. But pia nilikuanga na babysit. Mimi napendanga watoto. So I was always a nanny. Kwanza summertime unaenda like tulikuwa New York. So New York ukienda huko Hamptons, huko kuna wasee wako na watoto. In one day unaweza tengeneza do mingi sana na watoto.
Nasikia huko Hamptons ni kule kwa Masonko.
Kulikuwa na private jets na nini na
what's the most you've made from kwa nani?
From kwa nani, I think the most I made was maybe something like 3,000 per week in the summertime.
Hey, watu wa nini piga calculation hapo.
Nilinunua kaplot. Nilinunua kaplot in one summer.
Nice.
In one summer. Nilinunua kaplot.
Because the job for nani, me I see it on movies.
Yes.
You are just taking care of your job.
Yeah.
So for me to hear you made as much as $3,000.
And I loved it. Unajua mimi nilikuwa like I was so passionate about what I was studying. So me I wanted to be an economist, I wanted to be a political scientist, I wanted to be a development expert. So besides that, there's nothing else I wanted to do besides that. So in the meantime, anapenda watoto sana. So for me it was such a joy. Ukikuja unaangalia watoto, unacheza na watoto na nini. By the way, it's ni hours zako, unasema it's from this hour to this hour, and that's the end of it. Unapewa gari, you drive the kids to school, una drive kwa different activities. My favorite part was una travel na watoto. So ilinisaidia nikajua so many places. Mara mnaenda Disney World, Florida, mnaenda Miami, mnaenda Canada.
Hivyo nani hawachwi nyumbani?
Hapana, hawachwi.
Kila process ya kids
unabebana nao, unaenda nao. Unaenda nao. So
na kuna wengine hapa Kenya wananyima watu wao hata kuenda hapo.
Imenifanya hata today I have kids, niko na watoto wangu na niko na someone taking care of my kids. Like me huwa naambia tuende tunachukua CGR tunaenda pamoja. Because hapo before I graduated with my bachelor's degree, me I was always babysitting and that's how I paid my bills. That's how in the summertime nilikuwa na work more. But also summertime vile nilikuwa Kisumu nilikuwa najifundisha French. So another thing in summertime pia nilikuwa nachukua naenda kama Alliance Française, nilikuwa naenda Kisumu but pia naenda Paris sasa. And then again ni nani? Imagine.
Yani
kuangalia tu watoto. Kuangalia tu watoto.
I love it. That is such a story.
Yes, because there are some parents wanataka watoto wao kuwa wanaongea French na nini, una volunteer unasema mimi nitaenda nao, if it's Paris I'll go with them to Paris for the summer. So unaenda you spend time with them in Paris in the summer.
Well, even so, me can volunteer just
una volunteer. Nilikuwa nimejitolea. Watu wanaona una complain. Mimi nilikuwa nimejitolea. I'm like, "Ai guy, first of all silipi rent hiyo sama yote, mko na mali naishi because hostels zimefungwa." Then I go back again. So no, it was a really good experience. And then from that also, that's what motivated me to US, then ni shift niende Europe.
Okay.
Because now for my master's, I decided what I niende Europe. So then I did my first master's degree in France, nilienda Sciences Po. So I had to force myself to make French yangu ikuwe fluent.
Ikuwe fluent yani ndio.
Hakuwa fluent because kalikuwa kanaweza kuenda kupotea. You know, but roots zilianza Kisumu. Kwanza sasa last week tumefungua Alliance Française Kisumu, ilikuwa imefungwa sasa imefunguliwa tena. It was so critical. Nilikuwa na mwalimu wangu Kisumu girls who was teaching us French. They were so good. Walipatia ile basic foundation. Sasa mimi yule nimefika Paris, niko na all the ideas in my head. Sasa mimi naongea French. Nikafika hapo wanakaa wananiangalia wanasema, "Excuse me." Unasema ati wanakwambia kwa sikosa sako. Ujue nilirudi nikaanza na A level A10000. Hapo bonjour nikaanza my name is nikaanzia huko sasa nikipata nikaju. But I was so determined. The other reason I was also determined is once again nilikuwa na scholarship. So nisema boss, kama nimepewa free education, nalipiwa mpaka accommodation, naenda mahali, I was like, hii nitangangana mpaka nijue. So nilirudi Alliance Française nikaanza, I started again from scratch. So I went to Alliance Française in Paris and I went to Alliance Française in Kisumu. And those two during the holidays. So those two kind of reinforced my French. So then I did my first master's degree. I did it in Sciences Po in Paris, in development and international management. So nikafanya 2 years, I was staying in Paris. That was really good. It was also good because it helped me realize Paris was not the place for me. Like, shout out to everybody.
Only realize
it was too French for me. It was like, it was down in the trenches.
Na vile mimi sasa nikiambiwa free ticket niko huko mad.
But it's so nice to visit. It's so nice. All of that was really good. But at the end of the day, I was like, nilifanya, I was done. I was like, okay, hiyo imetosha kidogo.
Season imeisha.
Season imeisha. So nikamua, acha ni switch gears kidogo.
Switch gears. I love it.
Yeah, then I went to the UK now. Then I went to London.
So you've talked about being in the US. You've talked about vast travel, coming back home, learning French, and all these many things. Huyu mnyama anaitwa Omena. Anaingililia wapi kwa hii story yetu mzuri? Kwa sababu hii story inanifascinate sana, especially just hearing the backstories and hii na hii. So tell us about how Omena comes into your life and changes your whole life.
Okay, cool. So Omena makes a lot of sense. I think the whole journey was always leading me to Omena in the end. So like I said, I decided to do my second degree, which I went to the London School of Economics, nikafanya economics. So from there on, my first job was actually, I was a business analyst, nikaingia graduate program. So I worked in pharmaceutical, in corporate life, almost 7 years as a business analyst, whether it was China, Switzerland, and all these other places. And at the end of the day, I saw how tunaweza chukua product yenye tuna develop kwa company, yenye wewe kwa market, hata ulikuwa ujui hauhitaji market development. Mpaka tukwambie you need it, mpaka tukwambie saanza kuinunua, mpaka you can't live without it. So now I was looking back, nasema, I'm seeing them developing, you know, some really good therapies. For example, nilikuwa in charge ya sickle cell na rare blood disorders. Unakuja hapa, it's very underdiagnosed. I sensitize you, una diagnose, now you need the medicine that I'm selling. So I thought, okay, I was fascinated by the concept of market development. And I knew that I wanted to come back home. A lot of times, watu wanadhaningi ukienda ati unataka uishi huko. Me, I was one of those people who I knew if I could afford it, if I could figure out how. Because kukaa nyumbani pia, it's not easy, to be honest. It's not easy at all. People think it's cheap. It's not exactly cheap. So I thought, if I find a way of coming back home, all of this, the point of kwenda huko kusoma, kufanya hizo vitu zote is to come back and develop home. My dad was always very intense in terms of saying, hizo vitu zote, they're really nice, but the people huko nje, hawata ku-appreciate hizo skills zako, the way nyumbani, people will appreciate you.
So true.
So mi natoka Karungu, Migori County. I'm right in front of the lake. So kila siku tunatoa omena, tunatoa samaki. And there was just, I'm seeing omena inatengenezwa hapo just on the floor. And I was thinking, we need to do local value addition on this. This is a gold mine. You know, omena is a superfood, extreme superfood. It's very easy to handle and it's really good. So one day nimeka home, I was on holiday, nimetoka job nini, I was in Switzerland, posted in Switzerland at the time. Nimeka home ushagoa, naangalia omena iko hapo na naona headlines ziko hapo. Oh, sex for fish, the women working in front of the lake. I am one of the women in front of the lake. So when you give those statistics, you're talking about me. When you talk about women in Migori counties affected by HIV, you're talking about me. So I just had that push and I said, but what can I do with the skills that I have? Napenda omena. So I thought, okay, wacha tufanye market development, tuuze hiyo omena. What are the different uses of the omena? So I took my time. I did a full study, like consultancy. Yeah, omena, I found out it was a gold mine. So omena iko na very many uses. One of them is, of course, kukula. But ukikula unadhani, itakuwa ni Wakenya wajaluo watatu US. Hapana, West Africans wanaongeza omena kwa chakula yao. Then it's pet food. Kuna watu wanataka their cats wanakula organic. Anataka ijue ni organic, haijashikwa na anything else, haijatoka kwa pond. Ndio hao. Kuna watu wanatengeneza protein shakes.
With the omena.
Wanatengeneza na omena protein shakes.
Kweli gold mine.
Ni gold mine. So I said, okay, but how do I develop this market? And how do I have a story behind the product? Because it's one thing kwenda tu kuuza omena, that's it. But you have to have a story behind it. Today, a lot of businesses, they require social impact.
True.
So I had to have a story behind it. The company that I have, it's a women's only enterprise, ya omena. Tunachukua omena, tunaiosha in a very sanitary way. Tuko na greenhouses, tunaikausha, tunaipackage. Omena yangu inaingia, we have have a direct flight inaenda JFK. Inaingia kwa hiyo ndege na wewe inaingia New York.
Yani omena yako inatoka kwa maji.
New York na omena. Nafikanga New York na omena yangu. Na ikako na kalebo kazuri ka Kenya, unaambiwa made hii ni straight from Kenya. From the shores of Lake Victoria. From the wonderful Migori County. So you have a product yenye imetoka Migori County. You're proud to say we have something.
Yeah, hata mimi ningekuwa huko ningenunua just for that.
Ni emotional selling. Kuna watu wanaingia tu
Umetag the heartstrings.
Wanaona tu Apple, you know. So I did a lot. I found markets, nikafind markets New York, nikafind markets Boston, and now exploring Texas as well because we have a huge community. So the idea is tuko na product, instead of kuuza 200 bob, ikifika huko ni $20. Now $20 it empowers you to come back and empower the community. So the women who work for me, they have health insurance. We're trying to tackle triple threat, the triple threat as well. Stories are HIV. We're trying to do economic and capacity building. Me as an economist, napenda nifundisha wa mama pia. Tunafanya table banking. Tunafanya stories za masako. Tunafanya nini? So we have like a little community around this product that we have inaitwa Omena. So you always have to work with what you have.
What you have at all.
You around, angalia tu around you hapo. That's where the opportunity
and
is.
Your story says it perfectly. As you've said, nime grow up hapa kwa ile lake the place na iona daily. So why not use those resources? Plus, I love the fact that you still tied it into you going abroad to study, getting that knowledge and coming back home, helping the women of your community. So that is commendable. That's why this show was made. Because of amazing Kenyans like you, amazing people like you go beyond. Because hakuna mtu alikuforce uende na urudi. Ukataka shila ungeenda huko na upotelea.
In fact, most people were asking me, but why? Even today, people still ask me, mbona umekuja unauza omena Migori? Like, what are you even doing? And I said, the whole point, we're having so much brain drain. The whole point ya ukienda huko, it doesn't feel like home, to be very honest. Unaweza kaa nini, and it's nice, but at the end of the day, there's just always something then kana miss hapo. And you find, I'm very purpose driven. So I find my why very easily when I'm at home. Because now I think I'm taking all those skills, hizo degrees zote nimesoma, and now I'm putting it in something just as simple as omena. And I'm impacting my community. I find my purpose iko hapo much more.
Breathtaking kind of stories. Na umesema $20 na yo omena nimesikia yo price is more than that.
Of course. Si imepanda ndege. Yo ticket omena at least yo omena imepanda ndege imefika huko. Umepanda ndege umefika.
I love it. So you've said your community diasporas, they're the ones who are, you've discovered new markets in America, in the UK, and guys are buying. I love that. And how can guys get in touch with you? Because I know to hii story yako tugeisebaba paka kesho asubuhi na watatumaliza. So how can guys get in touch with you? They might want to ask you some questions. They might want to, connect with you, ask you about different things. Tell guys how they can connect with you. Even other women are watching you from back home and they're like, hey, mi pia nataka, empowerment. So speak to them, please.
Absolutely. On my social handles, it's Sheila Olang. That's easy. On Instagram, on X, on Facebook as well. That's very easy. The name of my company is Soribe. I come from Sori in Migori County. So if you look up Soribe as well, you can see information. We are expanding quite rapidly. Saizi nimeingia cold chain logistics. I just finished building a fish factory as well. So tutaanza kufanya local value addition uko Migori County instead of kupeleka samaki zote sijui zinakuja kufanya nini Thika.
Uko ni mbali alafu.
Uko ni mbali sana. So hiyo story tunataka kumalizia hapo just because we have access to markets outside. So for anyone who's ever asking themselves, nikirudi home, what can I do? There's a lot that can be done here, and the market here is really, really incredible. Really nice. I love it.
Encouraging stories. You've heard it from Sheila amekwambia hapa first hand, and tunakuwa na tradition hapa kwa show. Sijui kama unaijua. Inakwanga kutuma salamu. So Kenya tunapenda kutuma salamu mbaya. Kila mtu wa nyumbani, na kuna watu sahi wa sorry wanaangalia hivi wanasema huyu msichana wetu hadi kose kunitaja. So kindly, our tradition hapa ni kutuma salamu. So kindly look into that camera and talk to them. Salimia kila mtu hapa nyumbani, watu wako diaspora. Lazima wezi wasahau.
First and foremost, shout out to kila mtu ananisikiza kutoka Sori and specifically kutoka Migori County home. Shout out kabisa to all my friends are watching. By the way, to New York wame tune in. They knew that I was going to be live. All my friends wenye wako UK pia, they're tuning in. Na wale wako Belgium, na wale wako Paris pia, na wasalimia sana. Na mostly ku encourage my youth. Kwanza mayouth wetu huku, please, kuna opportunity, tulienda tukafanya hizo vitu, so please be encouraged. Mtu asai kupimanisha akili at you can't. We are here, we did it. You can do it as well. So shout out to everybody who's tuned in.
Hapo sawa manze, umesikia manze mayouth, tuendelee hivyo hivyo. Thank you very much. We do appreciate you so much. As I said, one of the main reasons this show was made is because of stories like yours, the impact you make and many others. So we appreciate you. Thank you very much,
Thanks
Sheila.
for having me.
And continue interacting with her, connect with her. Kuna maswali zingine ambazo mimi sijamuuliza. Ingia pale kwa DM, ongea na ende ujue what's really going, especially if you have those expectations za kuingia majuu na kukonka na kurudi mtaani na hiyo knowledge vile Sheila amefanya. Si ndio? And right now, talking about more stories, let's continue connecting you with stories by Kenyans who are across the board. And right now, nataka turudi tu huko. Yes, huko UK, where an amazing Kenyan, niaje, mambo vipi?
Poa sana, how are you?
Mimi niko best kabisa. Naona unateka stroll, unateka walk. Ni saa ngapi huko area gani ya UK? And what are you up to?
First and foremost, thanks for having me. I'm in London, UK, and it's 9:44 p.m. whereby we had come for Ngemi our Coventry, but now it's time for us to just hang out. It's what do you call it? It's I just said it's 9 p.m. and
Yes.
I'm here to do a BTech in health and social care, whereby it's a bridge to nursing, or if you want to do medicine, if you want to do midwifery, you can join into the course.
Oh,
and
that's amazing. That's amazing, She. Tell us how you got on board this before. Naona Ngemi imeshika sana and nataka urudi after party na uendelee kujinai. So nataka tuonge tu mbio. So talk to me about your journey, especially ya kuenda UK, and as you said, you're in the medical field. Talk to me because there are other Kenyans who are watching you right now ambao wangependa sana kuingia kwa hiyo program na waso to those heights ambazo umefika. So kindly let us know, She.
So basically, I'd say for Kenyans who want to join the medicine industry, it's not easy, but we have to work so hard for us to get into the industry. But when you get into the industry, it's such an amazing opportunity for you to grow, for you to have, you have so much opportunity to explore the world, to explore the medicine of the facility, to explore a lot of things in concerning health and social care. So basically for myself in the courses that I've done psychology for 2 years, whereby I never finished, but I'm planning on continuing with my studies. I've done medicine for 2 years as well. And it was such a nice opportunity to be there. How I wish that our country has the same opportunity to let kids, students explore more in the health and social care parts. I'll say that if you want to join it, you can just go on social media handles and apply for colleges. I know now that we have, they're recruiting and they have students who are on for the, who want to come and do it. They have sponsorship for those who are not able to do it, to pay for their fee. They can sponsor you. And that's much quite about it.
Yeah, I like that. And have you met other Kenyans in different fields in the UK? What other fields are Kenyans thriving in when, especially wakiwa pale UK? Because I'm sure you've bumped into a few people from the Kenyan community.
Many Kenyans have done health and social care, whereby most of them are health assistant carers. And they say that the job is so nice because I've worked on part-time on this space. It's nice when you're in there. It's well applicable for, if you're in the country, it's much way easier to apply for the job. And I've also met with people who are doing influencers, who are influencers in this country. When you're when you are an influencer in the country also, is way much better for you to hold on and keep your life together. And
Okay. And when it comes to some of the things that you've learned there that are different from what we practice back home, what are some of the things that you'd like to see being introduced back home, especially after you complete your work and you gain some experience and you come back home? What are some of the things that you would love to see?
Some of the things that I may say, like looking up to the older people. Here, the elder people who are like 70 and above, and people who have disabilities, they are more looked up to. They have a lot of advantages whereby you get, like, when you have disabilities, you have the blue badge, you have like more funds from the government. The government funds people who have disabilities. You don't have to like have so much on yourself. They feed you, they fund your lifestyle, and it's good for them. So for my country, I really like for us to look up on people with disabilities and people who have like for school fees, also in school fees department. Here, like for here, you don't pay for your school fees if you're here for like more than 5 years, or if you're a citizen in this country. You don't have to pay, but even if you have to pay, you don't have to pay much of school fees, like you have to pay back home. So I feel like on this education sector, they have to like at least fund a bit of students who are doing education. And yeah, I think the country is gonna go much far with that.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much, Shi, for joining us to explain to us all these amazing things, because I'm sure there are so many guys who are practicing medicines, nurses, as you've said, getting into that field, who are looking at you and being like, yes, I need that. I need to get in touch. And talk to me also about some of the good times that you've had in the UK. You've met other Kenyans. I'm sure you've had a good time. What other things do you do for fun to unwind, especially when it comes to you? Shi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. For me, I'll say like having like Kenyans in the park, having Kenyan events. It's much better because you get to like taste more foods from home. Most likely the food sector is more of me going out for events and then meeting with new people, and then people from different places, you just mingle with them. And also the most good thing about this event and me being outside, I feel like it gives me an exposure of life, because in these countries we don't have like the social life. You have to look for the social life for yourself, because people are not like more on socializing with people. Like in Kenya, we like have those people who are from, you go door to door to play with other people from other homes. But in these countries, we don't have that. You just have to look for yourself. You have to look for friends by your own means so that you can mingle with people. And I find it being good, because at times you have to learn people who are real and people who are not real in your life within a span of maybe days and hours. And yeah, that's why I look up to going outside and having fun with a lot of people from our culture, or maybe different places.
Yeah, and I know, as I said, I don't want to keep you too much due to tumeambiwa ngemi iko on na kuna after party, and I know how the business goes. So before I let you go, please salimia wase wa mtaani back home. Yani niko sure kuna mabeshte zako, ma family, friends, relatives wanakuwatch, wangependa sana kusikia ukisema jina yao. So please wasalimie wote wa hapa, alafu pia usisahau mabeshte wa UK pia.
First and foremost, I'll say hi to my mom and my dad and my brothers who are watching me. Hey guys. And then I'd like to say hi to my grandma. I love you so much wherever you are. I know you're watching me. For my uncles, my aunties, my uncle from the US, my auntie from the US, my uncles from UK, my aunties from UK. And also I'd like to say hi to my best friend. I know Tabi, you're watching me, so I'd like to say hi to you. And also all of you who are watching me and you're here to support me, I love you so much, guys, and may this love live forever. Yeah.
And ever. Na usisahau ukikuwa huko diaspora, one of the things we love, mkikuja nyumbani msisahau kupitia hapa Diaspora Connect. So to a big up vizuri because you guys are doing amazingly well, especially in the diaspora. So she big up yourself. Aya, enda rudi kwa sherehe. Yeah, you can see bless up. As you can see, Kenyans are having a good time. Na hapa Diaspora Connect, we always have to make sure we get you their stories. Hata kama wako kwenye sherehe, lazima to take break time. Unajua Kenya tunapenda sherehe, but break time pia lazima, no, to make sure tumesort kila kitu in the right kind of way. And remember, you are our ambassador right here on Diaspora Connect. So make sure you tell some few people about us at Diaspora Connect, at Citizen TV Kenya when you come through on the X app. Na handle yetu ya Instagram ni ile at Diaspora Connect K, na even una connect na sisi. And we speak more languages than one. Tunaongea mbili, yani uno, including musical kind of language. And the one in charge of it today, a queen in our own right, Aziza Lego.
Simo yo fala cafe kianza jo complain. Pedi ucho maganja vedia na sauni plain. Cut cocaine ufate cut cobain. Ni ma tap hadisi attain. Niko na alele na nakauma adiche. Pande left ni gwethe iyo ingine ni cheng antaka. Ni mlele na kutuma ata plate. On to the next watu finyi replay.
Nimekokea na mavitu mingi ndo maana nimekuwa nikiua verse. Ini kakas wali dash but akashindwa vile hata reverse. I've been the worst of the best ndo maana nikimada nasema tina jigas. Na nika rest the case nikapanga vile naweza nikajie match. Nekuri just test na waonyesha vile neza mada the rest. Kaini contest basi niwache nikikingia GMpress. Naweza confess nimekoma madara kutoka niwache tei madenge nako. Mesha vile na wamanga gajoni kama ni mei. Kumbabas.
Piga smile cheki kam gapi statue. Na kulike mekuma kweni tatu. Digidha gidhinya siaga gwadu. Una bend pose alafu na raru. Piga statue. Inua mkono alafu cheza na mguu. Piga statue. Na kulike mekuma kama tatu.
Simama kete, piga walege. Tingiza kichwa ni kazi meshika gweze. Kispaki anguka nayo twende. Hapa ni kudance kubanju kama daily. Sipige makofi utachoka mikono itoma na utamiss nyingi. Sipige makofi utachoka mikono itoma na utamiss nyingi. Uno, bailando, umlando. Uno, bailando, umlando.
Piga statue. Inua mkono alafu cheza na mguu. Piga statue. Na kulike na kumakama tano.
Tushasikia kikingia ni kuplus. Huko ngabadu na chuklo wa madam. So anguka nao itabaki meflow na vibe. Anguka nao koko single for now. Mdagris mteja patikani. Hadi late night saa 6 ndo tani wai. Nikupin location ankofana na hii. Sukate call niko chomba ya G. Mina jua utakuwa irizo riris. Acha ni kushow kwanza form ya didon. Nishashika mpoa na twende chini kwa chini. Akiwa adi na mini. Sai tunasikiza Shin City tuna feel free. Teka video na post pale NGC. Jina ni Kantel kurapsi ni talent G. Anguka nao cheki. Anguka nao twende down low now. Stand up to your feet mikono juu alafu click. Tuliza pesa alafu one leg. Anguka nao